Welcome to another cooking channel with Rick. Today I'm going to be cooking a Malaysian specialty which is called Rendang, which is basically a beef or chicken stew with toasted coconut and with a lot of beautiful spices. I'll explain it later. Okay, let's start.
So what's rendang? So rendang is actually a meat stew that's made of your meat, be it beef, chicken, it can be even fish, it can be even cockles, spices and coconut milk. So originally it originated from Indonesia, in fact from a region called Minangkabau, which is basically coming from an ethnic group of people. Alright, so originally this recipe is from Malaysia. By being part of the Malay Archipelago, the different recipes and the variants have spread to Malaysia, to Singapore and even to Brunei. Alright, so rendang in itself is actually a very rich and tender coconut beef stew that is full of flavor, and it's definitely the most famous dish in whole of the Malay Archipelago. Right? So there are so many ways and to cook rendang. You can see these are some of the variants that we have. Some of them are darker in color, some of them have more turmeric, some of them are dry, and some of them are a bit more wet. When I say dry and wet, I refer to the amount of gravy. So there's dry types of rendang and there's wet types of rendang. So what I'll be showing you in this video is the the dry type of rendang, and it's called a rendang tok. And rendang is really good to be served with just plain rice because it is full, it's a flavor bomb, and I think you all will enjoy it. So I'll show you the next couple of steps for this recipe. So in this video, I'll be showing you the basic rendang, or the most common rendang actually, called rendang tok, but instead it is made with chicken as opposed to beef. Again, you're allowed to put any kinds of poultry. It can be beef, it can be meat, even can be fish. Some people have cockles, but they all are similar in terms of the ingredients that will be used. The only difference would be additional ingredients, how long you want to caramelize the spice base, and also additional ingredients, so on and so forth. Alright, so to make the rendang, it's divided into three sort of categories. We have ingredients for the spice base, which includes all your aromats like your onions, garlic, ginger, lemongrass, so on and so forth. And then you have your dry spices, which is your cinnamon, cloves, star anise and cardamom pops. And both of these ingredients are to be sauteed together until fragrant before you add the other ingredients. And that boils down to our next third part, which are the important bits and bobs for the rendang, and that's the tamarind juice or tamarind water from the pulp, your chicken breast, your coconut cream, your toasted grated coconut, or we call it kerisik in Malay, sugar, salt, water, and one of the most important ingredients that makes rendang special is having kaffir lime leaves, and these are thinly sliced. And I will show you how to prepare all these, including the tamarind water, the kerisik, and also the thinly sliced kaffir lime leaves. So let's get started.
Roasting some coconut, we're going to make kerisik, and that's for the rendang. So basically I have over here, I've just heat up the pan and we're going to put it under low heat, alright? So we're just going to stir it until it's brown. So just to give it a bit of what? No oil, we're just basically toasting the coconut.
10 minutes later.
Alright, so now that my now that my coconut is toasted, it's all brown in color, pretty happy, pretty even around. That's it. Now I'm going to put it aside. Some dried chilies which I've soaked and de-seeded. There's still some seeds, but I'll remove later on. We do have some onions. I'm using brown onions, but you can use shallots. About 5 shallots, but I'll be using 2, 1 medium and 1 small one. And then we have 5 peeled garlic, and then I've got 1 inch of a galangal, and then I have ginger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be blending all these together, alright? But I'm going to chop them first. We also need lemongrass, 3 stalks of them, but we only be using this part over here, alright? Okay, I'll show you the process later. So these are all the ingredients for the paste. Now that I have all my ingredients all chopped up and ready, I'm going to blend them, alright? So I'm going to blend this with those dry chilies as well. I'm going to blend them and I'll show you the process later. So now my paste is blended. I'm going to go and pour it in. I just want to show you how it looks like. So here, look at that color, that vibrant color, right? So yep, this is our paste, right? It smells amazing. Look at this, right? So we will saute this with the chicken. Tamarind pulp with tamarind juice. This is from Malaysia. So we have the pulp. We're going to get the water out from the tamarind. So we're going to cut it off and and it's brown in color. I'll show you in a bit. That's a tamarind water. So there's a couple of tamarinds over here with the pulp. So yep. I have some cafe lime leaves. So what I'll do, I'm going to cut them very finely. They're going to be sauteing the ingredients. So put it over here, my makeshift stand, right? Put in the cinnamon. Put in all the cardamom leaves. I should have more of this, I'll add it later on. And then we put in the paste. Put in the paste they had. We're going to stir fry them until the oil is out, right? Until it's flavored. Then we're going to add the chicken. I'm using chicken breast today and I have some other chicken parts. Right? That's what we're doing. Adding the chicken. Yep. Add the tamarind water. Give it a stir. So we're going to let this boil and set for a couple more minutes. Yeah.
5 minutes later.
Coconut milk to our stew. I haven't added any salt or sugar because I'm going to balance it later on. But yep, here we go. So we're going to stew this for medium heat for 5 to 6 for 5 to 6 minutes. Just gonna go and render it down, render sauces down, but right now I'm just giving it a stir. Look at that color, looks amazing already. Right, boiling, and now I'm gonna add the flavors. Right, maybe about 2, half a teaspoon Himalayan salt, tablespoon I mean. Add a bit more, and we flavor it. Right, flavor as we go, and we'll let it boil. All right. A bit of sugar. Again, similarly, maybe about 2 tablespoons. All right. Remember, we're making a big one, so we'll stir this. So yeah, I'm going to carry on stirring this. You want it to be semi-dry.
5 minutes later. "20 minutes later."
Now that the chicken is sort of boiling, we'll add the what we call the curry stick, right? The burnt toasted coconuts right here. So we'll add those in. We'll increase it to maximum heat. We'll add those in. Here, small fire. We're just going to let this slowly stir and let the water evaporate, or the gravy evaporate.
20 minutes later.
The rendang is still stewing, but you see the color is reduced. It's coming more brown. So yeah, after hopefully you take another.
15 minutes later.
So our rendang is looking very close. The sauce is thickened up. I've given it a bit of a stir. You can see the color has caramelized. So I'm just waiting for it to dry up a little bit more, and yeah, the color gets darker.
5 minutes later.
Ready. So I'm about to just let it simmer for another minute or so. Oops, foggy camera. So not sure if you can see the oil. That oil comes from all the coconut milk that is rendered out from the dish. So it's going to be very nutty in flavor, but yep. And you can see some shrapnel of the meat, and that's pretty normal because, you know, that means that the meat is very tender. So right, I'm pretty happy with it.
Finally!
The thing we do need to do is we need to add, remember the lime leaf that we had, so we're just going to add a little bit around here, half of what we chopped, and we give that a bit of a stir, alright, just to bring up, the kaffir lime leaves brings out the flavor and has add a bit of acidity, so let's give this a stir. It's good. Right, I'll stir and I'll show you the final product.
Is my chicken.